So just some reminders as you set up. Nidra is classically done lying on the floor on top of a yoga mat and some props. So if you haven't already set up your little yoga nidra throne, you might want to get started on that now. So I recommend a yoga mat, maybe 2 yoga mats if you have one or have an extra one, and then some folded blankets on top of that. You want about 2 to 3 inches of thickness beneath you, because what feels comfortable when you first lay down is going to start to feel a little less comfortable the longer that you are there. And that's because these points, these pressure points that we are resting on, they start to soften. So really, it's like the soft tissues soften even more. And maybe it's like your tailbone or your elbows or your shoulders or your heels will start to just become a bit more sensitive over time. So make sure that you have plenty of cushion. Now, a question that's asked quite often, especially as we practice here at home, is can we practice in a bed or on a couch? And the answer is it's up to you. Clearly, I can't stop you. Know that if you do, you're more inclined to fall asleep. And that's not the goal for Yoga Nidra. But if you don't have any other place to be, or if you really want to practice on something softer, go for it. It's your practice to do. And because you get a recording of this at the end, if you fall asleep and want to try again later, you'll have the opportunity to do so, because so the stakes are very low here when it comes to that. With that in mind, you might fall asleep regardless, and if you do, it's okay. First thing is that if you fall asleep, you probably needed to. You're probably exhausted. Second is that we're not dealing with the conscious mind, so it's okay if that steps away. Our goal is to remain wakeful, and we'll even set an intention around that, but if you do fall asleep, no harm done, okay? It's a little bit colder here in California. If you might want a blanket to cover up with, or you might want to have like a hoodie on and some pajamas on. So make sure that you feel warm, because as what happens when you are sleeping, the temperature of your body drops, the core temperature drops. So what might feel comfortable when you first lay down might not be so in a bit. And if you're feeling pretty hot at the beginning, just have a blanket nearby. Some people like to cover their eyes. I recommend doing so if you want to, but don't do it with anything heavy. So like even like those weighted eye pillows, like rice or buckwheat, those are too heavy. You'll want to maybe cover up with like a scarf or a shawl or a sock or something quite light, so that there's no pressure on the eye sockets. Because again, everything softens when we're doing this, which is the goal, but we want to set ourselves up for success. That's why we talk so much at the beginning of these. Try to make sure that your environment is as distraction-free as you can manage, and that's relative to wherever you're at. And with that in mind, you might hear noise regardless. And when noise comes up, I just want you to allow it to be in your awareness and to let it go without attaching any kind of response to it. All right, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and come to lay down. We're going to do some Nidra. Taking your time as you come into what I'll call classical Shavasana or corpse pose alignment, and I'll walk you through that. When you lay down, allow the heels to be about 1 foot to 1.5 feet away from one another. So if you're on a yoga mat, it'd be about as wide as your yoga mat, if not a bit wider if you're taller. And this allows the hips and the hip joints to really relax, which is going to be helpful here. You also want to have your arms out to the side, maybe about 1 foot or so away from your hips, palms face up if you can. And it's good if there's not really anything touching the fingertips. So if you have a blanket on you, just have the hands just outside of the blanket. You might want to have a cushion or pillow underneath your neck or your head. Nothing too high. Like a yoga bolster might be too high, but a bed pillow or a folded blanket would be perfect underneath your head. Allow the jaw to be soft, maybe separating the rows of teeth by a few millimeters. And just scan your system before you really settle in, and just notice if there's anything you can do to make yourself 10 to 15% more comfortable. Maybe it's a light shifting. Maybe you realize you did need that blanket. And then please become aware of your body, your entire body, and the space occupied by your body. And as you're aware of your body, we'll begin to count backwards on the breath from the number 12 all the way down to 1. So to be inhale, 12, exhale, 12. Inhale, 11, exhale, 11, and so on, all the way down to 1. And if you lose count, just start over at 12. Wherever you're at in your counting, go ahead and stop. And repeat in your mind these words. I am going to practice Yoga Nidra. I will stay awake. I am going to practice Yoga Nidra. I will stay awake. I'm going to practice Yoga Nidra to rest my body. I am going to practice Yoga Nidra to rest my waking mind. I'm going to practice Yoga Nidra to seek the deepest truth within me. I am going to practice Yoga Nidra right now. So we'll begin to circulate your awareness throughout your body. There's nothing you need to do here. But as I name regions or points on your body, just slightly bring your awareness to them. You don't need to move. In fact, don't move. And if you lose place, simply pick up wherever we are at the moment that your mind comes back. Again, don't try. So please bring your awareness to the crown of your head, the point between your eyebrows, the point at the center of your throat, the point at the center of your chest, your navel, the tip of the tailbone, the point just beneath the tailbone, your right shoulder, your right elbow, your right wrist, all of the knuckles on the right hand, your left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, all of the knuckles on the left hand, the right side of your rib cage, the left side of your rib cage, your right hip, your right knee, your right ankle, all of the bones in the right foot, your left hip, your left knee, your left ankle, all of the bones in the left foot, your jaw, all the points where your teeth connect to your skull, cheekbones, the bridge of your nose, the bones of your eye sockets, both temples, the crown of the head, the point at the center of your brain, the point at the center of your throat, the center point inside of your chest, the space behind your navel, the region of your tailbone, and the space just below the tailbone. Your entire right arm, the whole right hand, the whole right arm and hand, the left arm, your left hand, the entire left arm and hand, the right side of your upper body, chest, back, abdomen, the left side of your upper body, chest, back, and abdomen, your right leg, right foot, the entire right leg and foot, your left leg, your left foot, the entire left leg and foot, your cheeks, both ears, your tongue, eyes, your brain, crown of the head, the point behind your eyebrows at the back of the head, the point at the back of your throat, the point on your spine at the center of the chest, the point on the spine behind your navel, the tip of your tailbone, the point just below the tailbone. The entire right side of your body, the entire left side of your body, your entire head, your entire body, your entire body, effortless, relaxing, completely at ease. And bring your awareness to the sensation of your breath within the nasal passages. You don't need to change the breath at all. Just be aware of the breath flowing in the nostrils. You might notice a difference in sensation between the inhale and exhale. Sometimes the inhale breath is cooler, the exhale breath is warmer. You may also notice that one nostril is partially blocked or maybe completely, and just be okay with that. The breath in the nostrils. And then we'll begin the practice of anuloma viloma, or mental alternate nostril breathing. So just follow my cues. We'll be imagining that we're inhaling and exhaling out of singular nostrils. So with your next inhale, imagine the breath entering through your left nostril, just the left nostril inhale. Then exhale, see yourself exhaling through the right nostril, just the right nostril exhale. Then inhale right nostril. And exhale left nostril. So that's one round. Inhale left nostril. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. In left. Out right. In right. And out left. In left. Out right. In right. And out left. In left, and continue on your own. The breath moving from side to side. This energetic pendulum softly swinging. And if you lose the practice, just start over. In left, out right. In right, out left. In left, out right. In right, out left. Now you may get to a point in this practice where the effort starts to dissolve. It's not so much that you're thinking about the breath moving through alternate nostrils, but you're simply observing yourself, witnessing yourself, breathing through alternate nostrils. No longer the doer, but the watcher. And if that's not yet the case for you, keep practicing. In left, out right. In right, out left. Now, as you see yourself exhale through the left nostril this next time, dissolve the practice, sensing the breath flowing effortlessly in both nostrils. Become aware of your body again, your entire body, and feel it heavy. You're made of stone. You couldn't move if you tried. You are a mountain. Feel yourself heavy. And then feel your body turn into air. You are light, effervescent. You could float away. Feel your body light. And feel it heavy again, turning back into stone, solidifying, dense, weighted. Feel your body heavy. And then feel gravity release you as you turn into air, light, buoyant. Feel your body light. And then feel the weight of your body normalize gently, comfortably. And feel your body cold. The hairs prickling on your skin. Feel your body cold. Shivering. Then feel the pores on your skin start to open as you feel your body hot. This deep inner heat warming your entire system. Nearly uncomfortable. Feel your body hot. Then feel the chill come back in. Maybe it feels like a tightening, but feel your body cold. And that burning heat returns. You could sweat. You feel your body so hot. And then feel your body come to a comfortable, gentle temperature. Become aware of the aspect of yourself that is simply able to witness the weight or non-weight of the body, or the varied temperatures of the body without preference. With simple awareness, maybe some curiosity, but without preference. Was it thrown off? Didn't judge. The part of you that could simply observe. Now bring to mind a time when you felt sad. What did that feel like? You don't have to spend much time thinking about what made you sad. But what did sadness feel like? How did it feel in your body? How did it feel in your mind? And then bring to mind a time when everything seemed to go your way. Maybe it felt like luck or like providence, but a time when everything was just working out well for you. It might have been recently, it might have been a while ago, but bring that to mind. What did it feel like when it felt like the universe was moving in your favor? And then again, bring your awareness to the aspect of yourself that was able to witness these two states of being without preference, with gentle curiosity, pure awareness, unshaken by this or that. Your inner observer, your witnessing consciousness. In staying with that witness, I'd like you to imagine a screen about 6 inches in front of the surface of your forehead, like a movie theater. As you hold your awareness on this screen, you'll begin to see some shapes or images form. Try not to control it, just watch it. Some of it might make sense, some of it might not make any sense to you. But whatever comes to the mind, the screen of the mind in this case, just allow it to be there. Don't try to judge it or change it. Don't hold preference for anything you see, just watch it. Simple, curious observer. If you find yourself getting taken away by anything you see, or you start judging it or wishing to change it, just sit back. And again, simply observe. Each image or shape moving into the next. When you find yourself getting involved, step back and just watch. Now allow the screen to go blank. In a moment, I'll start naming off random images. The only thing you have to do is bring the image to the screen in as much detail as you can in the short amount of time I give you to do so. Don't try to draw it, whatever it is. Just see it in as much detail as you're able to in the moment. So please picture on this screen a mountain, a desert, a clear blue sky, a stormy window, a wolf, a church, the sun, a crowded train station, a heart, a sprawling beach, a grassy lawn, a house, an old woman, a ladder, a basement, a red rose, the sky at night, a tree, a fountain, a college campus, a newborn child, clouds, your hands, leaves blowing in the wind, a classroom, a graveyard, the sun rising, the full moon, a blanket, a staircase, a lake, your heart. See the screen dissolve. Aware of your body. Feel, sense, see your body standing in a dense jungle. You might feel sweltering, might feel somewhat claustrophobic. You find yourself surrounded by dense foliage. And materializing in your hand is a machete. In this thickness, not only do you know that you need to move out of it, but that there's something for you once you get out. And so you pick a direction, and you know it's the right one, and you start swinging the machete. You start hacking and cutting away at the foliage, the leaves, at the bramble, and you start making your way through this hot, dense jungle. And it's thick and it's sweaty. Your arms start to hurt. But you know that this is what you have to do. And you know you're heading exactly where you need to head to get what you need, to become who you need to become. And so you hack and you chop, and you sweat, and you move through this thick, dense jungle. Determined, you push past the discomfort of your arms and shoulders burning. And you start to be rewarded. You start to notice that the denseness of the foliage is lessening. It's starting to thin out slowly but surely, and you excitedly keep going. You keep hacking. You keep chopping. And as you chop and as you hack, you start to hear the sound of running water. You're so close. Keep going. Keep chopping. Keep hacking. And finally, with a deep breath, and finally you make one last chop and you find yourself at the banks of a wide, deep river. And it's glorious and it's cooling. And you kneel down at the river and you dip your hands in and you drink the cool water and you feel yourself refreshed. It feels magical how it's restored your energy. Your limbs no longer ache. Your mind clears. And as you feel more alive, you look up, and just a few feet away from you, you see a canoe. There's somewhere to go. Knowing this is a part of your journey, you climb into the canoe. And once you're inside, the currents of the river starts to pick up and draws you away from the shore and starts to carry you down river. You trust it. You know that you are safe. You know that this river is carrying you to the place you need to go. You feel the light breeze on your face. You allow yourself to rest on this part of your journey. And after a time, the canoe just magically brings you to a distant shore of the river. As you climb out of the canoe onto land, you find yourself in the most peaceful place. Noticing what materializes in front of you and allowing that to be the most peaceful place. And not far from the shore, there's a campfire. And seated at the campfire is a figure, robed, peaceful, and meditating. And you know who this is. You sit down across the fire from them. And you know that this being, this sage, this guide, if you will, is the highest aspect of yourself. the all-knowing, all-pervasive aspect of you. And you greet it as such, you honor it as such. And their eyes open as you greet them, and a smile crosses their lips. They've been waiting for you. And the figure, this highest aspect of self, looks at you expectingly. You have a question for it. And you ask it, what do you want me to know? You ask it, what do you want me to know? And listen to its response. Your heart open to whatever comes to you. And you may not readily understand this wisdom, but you hear it. And you know it to be true. This being what it needs you to know. Having received this wisdom, again, whether you fully understand it or not, you ask another question of this highest aspect of yourself. And you ask it, how can I stay connected to you? How can I stay connected to you? And you listen for the answer that comes from this beautiful being in front of you. And you know now how to stay connected to it. And then you have one final question of this being, so giving and generous. And you ask it, when did I lose connection to you? When did I lose connection to you? And as you hear the answer, you don't feel shame, but understanding that while you may have lost connection, you have found it again. Additionally, you know exactly how to connect anytime you need to. Having found out what it needs you to know, having found out how you can stay connected to it, and having found out how you can sometimes disconnect from it. Having received this wisdom, express gratitude to this figure in whatever way feels appropriate, this highest aspect of yourself. And as that gratitude is expressed, that figure dissolves, the particles moving into your body. And you remember that you are that figure, that you were never separate, not even once. And you feel contented, you feel full, you feel enlightened. And you rest, and you lay down by the fire. And you soften into the ground, whole, completely whole. And as you are resting, you remember and repeat in your mind, I am practicing Yoga Nidra. I am connecting to wholeness. I am practicing Yoga Nidra and receiving deep wisdom from within me. I am practicing Yoga Nidra and I feel deeply connected. And while your body rests by that fire in the corner of your consciousness, it also rests here in your space on the physical plane. And you remember your body. And you feel your body resting here on the ground. You feel the breath moving in and out of your lungs. The blood flowing through your veins. And in your mind, you picture the room around you in as much detail as you can. Don't try, just see it. And then as you feel ready to come back from this state of Nidra, please take a deeper, fuller breath, gently stretching, gently moving. When and as you are ready, spending some time on your right side when you feel ready to shift. Take your time with that. And when you eventually feel ready to come up to a seat, spend a few moments just resting in the awareness that you have. If you have a meditation practice, you can spend time in that if you'd like. Might also be a good time to journal if that's a part of your practice. But be gentle with yourself, whatever it is you do next. It's my pleasure to guide you through this process. I thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to practicing with you again next time. So until we meet again, Namaste.